Hello lovely people, my name is Lesley. This is the Not Quite Enough Distance vlog. Hello and welcome, hope everyone's doing okay. Big thank you to everyone who gave advice and suggestions for Donna. Now Donna was the viewer who is a crocheter looking to learn knitting and was asking for resources, and you guys are amazing. So Donna, go through all of the comments to last week's vlog and you'll see lots of suggestions. Popular YouTube channels, Very Pink Knits, Suzanne Bryan, Roxanne Richardson and others. Don't take my verbal list as the definitive. Lots and lots of suggestions there. And in terms of books, Why Not Knit seems to be the one that many have used and found incredibly useful. So thank you again for all the suggestions, and I will second, third, fourth and however many it is, the suggestion to think about learning continental knitting as you're a crocheter. I know when I've taught crochet to knitters, if they're English style knitters, they're used to holding their yarn in their right hand, which means when they drop the yarn, that's the hand they go to pick it up in. Whereas the movement and the yarn management you'll be more used to in your left hand, so continental style knitting may suit you best, but there's no guarantee. I'm an English style knitter, but I'm a crocheter as well, so it's a question of what you get used to. And advice has been given to try lots of different methods and to work out what suits you best, which is the best method, the best advice for anyone learning anything. So thank you to everyone for that, really do appreciate it. Yeah, you're all just the best, you know that already, but you are the best. I am winding up what I consider to be my best spin. Now I realise that's a judgment word and we don't like to have judgment words, but it's my finest and most consistent spin today. So if that's what you're going for, it's my best. If I was going for thick and thin, it would be my worst. That's the way life is. Yeah, really pleased with how this has turned out. It should also be a gradient of colour, which once I've washed it, I will, I think, ball it up just to see how the gradient works, because I'm rather excited about that. But yeah, it's Sunday morning, a bit of a grey day, a bit of a grey weekend, and it's kind of suiting my mood. In terms of lockdown in the UK, or in England, I should only really talk about England because excuse me, I don't live in any of the other places. We're on lockdown until December the 2nd, and I think the hope was come December the 3rd we would be out of lockdown, and to an extent that's true. And we were planning to hopefully get together with family in a controlled and measured way. I mean, it wasn't suddenly going to be a big group of people gathering together, but there was the hope of a bit of kind of respite. It looks now as if the tier system that's going to come in will be more strict than we had before. And also, from the stuff I'm reading, it looks as if my corner of the country, the southeast, the numbers are going up, where they're going down in areas that were previously high, the northwest, for example. So the concern is that, I may not be able to see folks soon, and that's disappointing. We don't know yet. I'm worrying about something that hasn't happened and hasn't been announced, so I should possibly crank my neck in and stop worrying. But these things do play on the mind a bit, don't they? So that sort of knocked me a little this morning, but I'll live, it's okay. We all have these disappointments, and I know that I am very fortunate, still working, still able to do a lot of stuff, still financially secure at the moment. I have a lot to be grateful for, and I keep that in mind, because I know there are an awful lot of people who have serious and valid worries. So So yeah, it's a rubbish old time for a lot of people, and we're all allowed to feel a bit grim about it every now and again, but keeping a sense of balance is a good thing. So with thinking about things to look forward to, I sort of casually said a week or two ago about possibly doing an Advent project rather than wanting more yarn in an Advent calendar. After all, I'm making my own now. And this idea seems to have been very well received. So thank you all for being so positive about it. I was just kind of casually musing, and it looks like it's a goer. So the idea is to have a project where we each do a little bit every day, and over the 24 days of Advent, that should be enough time to complete the project. Now, I fully appreciate not everyone celebrates Christmas. Hanukkah starts on the 10th this year, I believe, or the 11th. Some people celebrate the solstice, so that's the 21st, 22nd. Some people celebrate Kwanzaa, so they're into New Year's Eve. So this is a very casual, I'm calling it a December craft along, rather than an Advent or a Christmas, because different folks have different priorities and different constraints on their time. I mean, depending on where you are in the world, your Christmas may be busy and full of activities as we might otherwise expect, or your celebration might be full of those things, or it may be much quieter because of the rules that you're living under according to where you're based. So it's very casual, and I'm just going to do a thread on Ravelry. I know there are concerns with Ravelry, so if anyone is having problems using it because of the way the site is, please do get in touch with me. Email me at notquiteenoughyarn@gmail.com, and we'll get around that problem. But from the response I've had this year from folks, I'm hopeful that people aren't too badly affected, and I know that some changes have been made to the site, so hopefully that is solving some of the problems that people had. So there will be a thread on the Ravelry group which I will open on the 1st of December, and it's just a thread. I'm not going to do the finished objects and chatter, it's just a thread, and I will do a draw on 12th night, which is January the 6th. On the 12 days of Christmas, my true love sent to me. Yes, sorry, starting early. Yes, so I'll do a draw on January the 6th, and the winning post might be a post from someone who said, you know, I was going to do this and I ran out of time, so I couldn't be bothered. You might still win. It's very casual, and I want it just to be a community thing. So it's not a race to get things done. I mean, I'm leaving it till the 6th of January because if people do want to put up a finished object, they can do so. But you can put up your daily progress. It's absolutely fine. You can say, today I knitted 1 row. That is fine. It's about us all doing something together, sharing our craft, metaphorically, if not actually, spending a bit of time crafting together. So that's the plan. Now I'm looking at projects where you have the same number of stitches in each row, so that I can divide it equally. And I did come up with one, but I think it's going to be too big, because I rather liked the Accidental Adventure cowl by Knit Boop, but it's 129 stitches, and it's quite a big cowl, as you can see. And I would need to do 13 rows a day, and 13 rows a day at 129 stitches would take me most of an evening, and I personally don't want this to be the only thing I work on in December. I want it to be a nice little hour thing that I do, get a bit of progress made, and move on. So that may not be the project for me, but that's because of my knitting speed and the time I anticipate I'll have for crafting, you can have whatever project you like. You know, if you can make a sweater in the days you have and you want to do that, more power to your elbow. Doesn't have to be knitted, can be crocheted. Like I say, the idea is that we just spend a bit of time metaphorically crafting together. I'm getting in a tangle here. And just enjoy a bit of time, and hopefully it will be a bit of time just for you. Because if the holiday season is making demands on you this year, I hope that you have a little bit of time each day to sit down, cup of tea, cup of coffee, hot chocolate, glass of wine, whatever your beverage of choice is, and just have a little bit of time to do something that you enjoy. So these projects can be whatever you want them to be. I'm thinking probably accessories, because they're small, but they could be home things. You could be making, you know, a hand towel or whatever you want to make. So very, very casual and just hopefully fun. That's the idea, that we all just enjoy what we're doing. And this may be an opportunity to finally make that pattern that you found back in April and you've not had a chance to make. You know, it may be that. It may be that pair of gloves that you've always wanted to make, or those socks that you've always wanted to make. As I say, the idea is just to enjoy what we're doing, have a bit of fun with it, and just make something lovely. Perhaps for yourself, but it doesn't have to be. If it's a last minute gift that you're making, you're a better person than I. But that's fine too. So anyway, I have whittled on enough about this. Basically, the too long didn't read version is thread on Ravelry from the 1st of December, close on the 6th of December. I wasn't initially going to do this as a prize draw, but there will be a prize. It will just be one, and it will be drawn from those posts. So whether you're putting a photograph up of a finished object, or you're saying, I haven't had a chance to knit a thing today, you will still be in the draw. There we go. Have fun with it, everyone. I've nearly finished. I'm onto the white, so you can tell I've nearly finished this this winding up, which means I've been talking too long. So have fun with the project. Hope you find something nice and scrummy. Just find something that you enjoy. This is about a little bit of self-indulgence at a time when we're often pulled in a number of different directions. So have fun. Cheers. Hello lovelies. It's Friday. I've put some eyeliner on so that I don't look quite so much like what the culinary will call rissoles in the snow. Hope you're all keeping well. In the UK, certainly in England, the latest restrictions were announced. So from next week, when our 4-week lockdown ends, we enter a new lockdown. There are 3 tiers. A lot of the country is in the 3rd tier, which is the most restricted. Where I am is tier 2, which means shops are open but we can't meet family. Pubs are open but only if you're having a meal there. Yeah, that just, you know, a number of restrictions. It has put the kibosh on family gathering we were hoping for the 12th, because a lot of my family are in Kent, which is tier 3. So you can't meet anyone, ever, at all. Not possible. So that's very disappointing. There is going to be this 4 or 5 days over Christmas when we can all meet up and give each other COVID, and the gift that keeps on giving. So I will see them at some point, and you know, we'll do the virtual stuff. And the main thing is that people keep safe and look after themselves. We've got a new baby in the family. We've got my 80-year-old dad, so we need to look after people. But it's just disappointing, and everyone in the world is facing the same disappointments. So That's a shame, but we will overcome, because we always do. We're resilient creatures, aren't we? This will be my last weekly podcast for the time being, because, you lucky people, I'm going to do Vlogmas. So starting next Tuesday, I think is the 1st, I will start doing daily vlogs. Now, I do appreciate that not everyone has the time to watch a daily vlog. I will try and keep them short, but you know, if you can join me, that's wonderful. If you can't, no problem at all. And also, because of the restrictions, they're going to be very samey. So whereas in previous years I've taken you carol singing, I've taken you to see Christmas lights, I've taken you out with friends, yeah, that's probably not going to happen this year. Sorry. I will try and make it as interesting as I can, but that's why they'll be really short. Now, I have chosen my pattern for my Advent craft along, make along, December craft along, I think I decided to call it. And I am going for this, which is the Free for All cowl by Jennifer Peck, who is Webster Street Knittery. I've got notes on here because I was trying to work out which yarn or yarns to use. I still haven't decided. The reason why I went for this, and it's a free pattern if anyone's interested, but this craft along is not pattern specific. It's just if you want to have a small project that you do throughout December, we'll do it together. But there's no obligation in this. It is so vague. But the reason why I chose this one is the rows are the same length, so you haven't got that sort of difference of increasing and decreasing. And it's 24 inches long, and then you sew it together. So that's perfect. An inch a day will work for me. Now, I'm actually going to start this on Monday, so that on Vlogmas, as it starts, I can show you the day before's work. And it does mean hopefully on Christmas Eve, which will be my last Vlogmas, it'll be finished. May even be wearing it. So that's the plan. So that's what I'm doing. Just one last note, the musicals that are on at the moment, the Andrew Lloyd Webber ones, I'm very excited because this week it's An American in Paris. One of my favourite musicals. Love American in Paris. And it starts, I think, at about 7 o'clock, where are we, GMT, and it runs for 48 hours. Do check the timings in your area. I'll put the link to the YouTube channel in the notes down below, but do check in your area, because I know some of them have only been available for 24 hours because of sort of licensing and rights commitments. So if you're interested, have a look at that. That sounded like an instruction. If you're interested, it's there. You can have a look, you don't have to. So yes, from next week I will be doing Vlogmas, which will mostly be life, the universe and everything, rather than yarny stuff. But there may be the odd bit of, look at the yarn I made. Ha ha ha! I am so pleased with this yarn. It feels like proper yarn that you'd buy. I'm delighted with it, I really am. More about this in the monthly podcast, which will go up this weekend. I'm currently cutting entries to the giveaways for the knitting and crochet diaries, so that I can make that draw, do that today to put it into the podcast. But yes, it's all happening here. I hope you're all keeping well. I hope you're all keeping safe. If you celebrated Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good one. If you're in the US but you don't celebrate it, I hope you had a nice day off. If you didn't have a day off, I hope work wasn't too bad. If you're in the rest of the world, I'll stop talking. No, I hope everyone's okay. We are still not knowing when this will end. Good news about the vaccines, we hope. But there's a lot of stuff still to be sorted out and answered. So take good care, everyone. It's not over yet, but we're kind of going over the horizon a bit, and hopefully not crashing to the floor on the other side. Look after yourselves. Thanks for all the comments, all the conversations we have in the notes. I absolutely love them. Take care. See you at the weekend if you watch the monthly podcast, and see you Tuesday if you watch Vlogmas. Thanks everyone. Look after yourselves. Bye bye.